entry or tribute, but I must have gotten the wrong evening. Sorry.
We got a super fan right here.
Brilliant.
So what's everyone drinking tonight? I'm on the Roddy Soak Pinot Gris myself.
Wow. And what about you, Kate?
I'm on the Small and Small Marlborough Sauvignon.
Ooh,
Very nice.
I'm on the small.
Oh, snap. Cheers to that.
Cheers, yeah.
Yeah, cheers. New Zealand all round. Hi, everyone. Welcome along. We're at 1,400 Zoom viewers already. Christ.
Wow.
Welcome, everyone. We'll just wait for everyone to come in. I'm Eamon, the wine guy, got Ray, the wine nut, and delighted to introduce our lovely colleague, Kate Keogh, from the marketing team to her maiden Thirsty Tuesday. And what an event we got in store tonight. Yeah, I'll just tell you a bit about Kate. Kate joined Naked maybe 8-9 years ago now, Kate.
Yeah, 8 years ago, I think. Yeah.
8 years ago, I think you were my first hire into the team when I was MD of the business, and just lots of angels I'm sure will have been on tasting tours, down the years, and lots of you might recognize Kate's lovely welcoming face from the front desk. Always there, always keeping the spirits up, behind the camera on Facebook, and I'm doing all our social stuff as well. So. Great to have you on board, Kate, and over to you to keep the peace.
Oh, thanks, Eamon. What a lovely introduction, and hi, everyone. The reason I'm here tonight, basically, is that we've got Eamon and Ray going head to head in a bit of a kind of fun festive fight of the big Christmas box. So really, I'm just here as an official adjudicator. I'm here to keep you both in check. I'm going to make sure you both play fair. And so here's how it's going to roll. So everyone tuning in tonight, you've all hopefully by now taken delivery of your wonderful big Christmas case that's sitting behind Ray. And so we thought, rather than just take you through all the wines one by one, we thought it would be a bit more fun to, have a bit of fun competition. So we've got 5 festive categories. There might be a 6th. We'll see how we go time-wise. And basically what we're going to do, Eamon and Ray are going to take it in turns. So for each festive category, we're going to have some different occasions from, Christmas dinner. We've got a few fun ones. And I'm going to ask each of you, Eamon and Ray, to pick your best pairing for each occasion. The perfect match, I guess. And then at the end of each round, we're going to have a poll, which will pop up on the screen for you guys. And so you can vote on whether you think Eamon or Ray's suggestion was the best. And I'm sorry to break it to you guys. There's no prizes at the end of it. It's just a bit of festive fun. But I'm sure in all of our Zoom meetings tomorrow, you'll have all the bragging rights. And you'll definitely be glad you won. And I just as well, guys, remember there's a Q&A function. So at the end of the session, we're going to leave a bit of time for a fun festive Q&A session. So if you've got any burning questions for Ray or Eamon, if you've got want to ask Ray, our master of wine, any wine pairings for what you're rustling up this Christmas. So you might be having a posh smoked salmon starter, whatever it is, pop it in the Q&A section and we'll answer them at the end. Whether it's anything to do with decanting, can I make mulled wine out of a really nice bottle? We'll answer it. No question is too wacky or too wild. So get them in and we'll answer a bunch of them at the end. So without further ado, shall we get cracking with our first round?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So, guys, I am going straight in there with the big guns, not messing about here. So, round number 1, I'd like you to tell me which red wine is going to be taking pride of place on your Christmas dinner table this year and why. So, Eamon, let's crack on with you first.
Okay. Great question. Probably my favorite question to answer every Christmas. So Christmas dinner, in my house, we go for turkey. Ray, as a big foodie, you'll know turkey is low on fat, high in flavor. All the trimmings on the table, loads of flavors. It's just a feast of the senses. Also, my dad, who's called Frank the Tank, he's in charge of turkey making in our house. So he's got quite a technique. He bones and rolls the turkey. Gets a layer of white meat, layer of brown meat, layer of stuffing, repeat, wraps it all up in the skins, butter, 3D bacon, the works, pop in the oven. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, if nothing else, I need a show-stopping wine to reward him. And when it comes to turkey and Christmas dinner, there's two schools of thought. Some people go light, Pinot Noir. Other people go kind of rich and mellow. I'm firmly in the rich and mellow camp. So, wraps all the meat and vegetables and everything up in a big velvety hug. So that's why I've gone for Rioja Las Parcelas, which is in your big Christmas case. Spain's signature grape, Tempranillo, most famous wine region in Spain, Rioja. This is a Crianza from 2015. It's 20 months in oak, so it's the perfect kind of sweet spot between fruit and oak, not too much oak. And just the taste of it's amazing. It's all dried fruit, oak, cloves, spice, like Christmas cake in a glass. And you also get to play my favorite Spanish game, pasta parcelas. So that's my pitch for Rioja.
You set the bar high there, Eamon.
Oh, I think you dock points for cringing at the end there, but no, it's good. It's a good pitch. Okay, so what have I got in here? Well, I've actually been testing the wares, so I have to admit I've already tasted this. So what's the correct, Kate? I have 1 minute to pitch my favorite. Okay, kick me off. I go. All right.
Yeah. Go for it, Ray.
Okay, so there is without a doubt the best wine in your Christmas box is Marcelo Bacardo Reserva. You have to ask yourself as you open it and unpack and enjoy the pleasure of unlifting the top of the box and going through and laying everything out and asking yourself, what is the most versatile and pleasurable and widely appealing wine in this case? And it is, of course, Malbec. Malbec is soft and round. It's a warm, cuddly hug. And this is a 95% buy it again rated wine. It won a silver medal at the International Wine Challenge. I mean, if you're going to do anything, if you're having Christmas for one or Christmas for two, do yourself a favor, reward yourself after the tumultuous year that was 2020 and have the best award-winning wine. So if you think about if you're going to have beef, some people have beef for Christmas or for Christmas dinner. Argentina is synonymous, of course, with beef and Malbec. If you're having turkey and ham, you have that nice sort of smoky character from the ham, and the softness of the Malbec is perfect. And then, of course, for the vegetarians and the vegans, you could have veggie Wellington, where you have peppers and feta and spinach in there, and it just marries with everything. So what you don't want to do is upset anyone, and what you do want to do is just make it the most widely appealing and all-encompassing wine. And it has to be, there is no question, it has to be Malbec Reserve.
Wow.
That's my case.
Oh gosh, that's going to be a tough one to call. I have no idea. So should we get the poll up and see which red wine is going to be taking pride of place on Angel's Christmas dinner tables this year? Who's got your vote?
Can we vote for ourselves?
Yeah, can we vote?
Yeah.
Vote?
Oh, it says host and man can't vote.
I just tried. I can't.
I can't. There's many ways
So it's not a fix.
The judging system, but that one didn't work. Okay. So, Kate, what follows this as people are voting while we're waiting for people to share their vote?
Okay, so after this one, we're going to be sticking with the Christmas dinner theme for round two. So not everyone around the Christmas dinner table is necessarily going to be a white wine lover. I know that my mum, Jane, she loves red wine lover. My mum loves a drop of white and she will drink white wine with anything. So I want to know, what white wine are you guys going to have chilling and ready for your turkey and all the trimmings, or whatever you're eating on Christmas Day?
Okay.
Now, do we get the results in? What are the scores on the doors? Oh my gosh, that was so close. Ray, you won round one. Congratulations. So the Malbec.
Right.
The Malbec did it.
Thanks, Eamon.
Okay. Eamon, there's still time to bring it back. Okay, so, actually, I feel like I'm going to go to you again, Ray, for this one. So what is going to be your white of choice on the Christmas dinner table this year?
Okay, white for me, from the Christmas case, has to be the white wine. The main event, the main deal would be Villebois Prestige Sauvignon Blanc. Now, the thing with Sauvignon Blanc, we have a Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley. And the thing with Sauvignon Blanc, or the thing with the meals you're going to have is you wanted to understand, are you going to compete or complement the dish? And when you're looking at smoked salmon, maybe as a starter, it's oily, it's saline, and it requires something to compete against that level of intensity. Otherwise, any other white wine will just get knocked out by it. So something that stands up to those flavors, and Sauvignon Blanc has all that tropical and exotic flavor, so it kicks in. Equally, you've got a vinaigrette, perhaps, if you're having a salad alongside the starter, and you need something strong to stand up. Also, on the other hand, you don't want it to be over the top, because you don't want to overtake the flavors that everyone in the kitchen has put so much hard work into doing. And so Loire, instead of, say, the small New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, which is exuberant and tropical and exotic, Loire is a sort of a subtle form of Sauvignon Blanc. So you really, the only bet I would say is to go with Prestige Sauvignon Blanc for your, both the starter and the main. It's Christmas wrapped up in a bottle. I give way.
Right, Eamon, what have you got? The pressure's on
Okay.
now.
So whenever I'm down, stuck in a rut, I'm not sure what to do. What would Rod the guy do? So my latest white wine would for my Christmas dinner. Rod would crack open a bottle of Pinot Gris, and that's exactly what I'm going to do myself. So Christmas Day, you want a wine to liven the senses. You know, lots of nibbles, small talk, bad press. News on a few weeks ago with Untitled Educated that New Zealand is this tiny sliver of rock in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. What sets it apart from other winemaking countries is its quality of light. So no landmass near it, the quality, the purity of the sunlight that goes in the grapes give all these New Zealand wines such intensity of flavor. So on a day where you need to, liven your palate, keep everything fresh, refreshing, crisp, mouth-watering, Rod's Pinot Gris is the way. I picked in my wedding day this wine. Ray, you might remember, you may not, because a lot of it was consumed. So if it's good enough for my wedding day, it's definitely good enough for Christmas Day.
Oh, he's gone the personal card. Okay.
Oh. Right, so let's get this poll up. Let's see what the ultimate Christmas dinner white wine is.
Can I make a comeback here?
Oh, it's actually really nerve-wracking, isn't it?
I'll put this back.
Who's your vote with?
So, while we wait for that, Kate, what can we expect from your interrogation to follow?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little clue. So for our next round, we're going to be rewinding. So we're going to be rewinding to Christmas morning. So I want you to start thinking about, you're going to be opening your presents, you're going to be getting your turkey ready to put in the oven. What are you going to be reaching for in your case to get your Christmas day off to a flying start? So whilst you're thinking about that, let's see what the results are. Drum roll. Oh my gosh, this is so close.
The Republicans have taken, what is it, North Dakota you got there? Good for you.
Oh my gosh. So it's neck and neck. It's still all to play for. Right. So now we're doing Christmas morning. Ray, what are you reaching for in your deluxe Christmas collection on the 25th?
It is with great pleasure that I try and find this. This is Frank Massar's olive oil. Now, this is extra virgin olive oil from vineyards that are, ancient, not vineyards, sorry, olive groves, ancient olive groves. But we have looked year after year, we keep looking for quality that can match this standard. And Frank's Arbequina is the variety. His Arbequina extra virgin olive oil is outstanding. And I use it all the time, but I will most certainly be using it right through Christmas Day. From the morning, it isn't just limited to the morning, it's versatile right through the day. But starting off, personally, I love poached eggs. Good poached eggs with olive oil drizzled over it like this, a little bit of rock salt, and then you have sourdough, toasted sourdough, and then you're in heaven. But if you prefer, let's say, a fry up in the morning, it's perfect. You can cook with it. Lots of people, not lots, there are a select bunch of people that believe that you cannot cook, fry, or even bake roast with olive oil, and it is simply untrue. There is a smoke level of it, but it is safe and it is delicious. So I have it with this. Also, you might be thinking of the vinaigrette, as I mentioned before, but olive oil right through the day. Also, Eamon mentioned nibbles before. What we used to do, I lived in London, there are lots of Turkish shops in North London, and you would just get these Turkish bread or any type of bread, say sourdough bread, lightly toasted under the grill, and then break it up into pieces. And while people are hanging around, you give them this, dip it into olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar in there, and just, it's a completely different, but absolutely delicious. And if you're open to tasting all these different wines, open your mind to tasting the quality of olive oil, and it will be your new best friend. Trust me, I give way.
Very good.
I'm coming to your breakfast. Sounds delicious. Right, Eamon, what have you got?
Okay, so I live in Dublin here. We're going to be allowed 3 households in to visit on Christmas Day, so I'm very excited. But if anyone else has noticed, we're living in a global pandemic. The traditional drink on arrival has been replaced by a march to the bathroom. So what better way to keep COVID at bay than the intoxicating divine aromas and texture of Noble Isle hand lotions. One particular member of our staff, I'm not going to name him, he declared, a few months ago, he's not a hand lotion guy, so he wasn't going to go near it. But got to wash your hands. Lots of dry hands around. You got moisturizer in there as well. It's made from grape extract from Chardonnay, Pinot Meunier, and Pinot Noir vines from the Simpsons down in Kent. So you'll even impress the biggest wine snob that comes to visit. This product normally graces the bathrooms of the Savoy Hotel, the Old Course of St Andrews, the BAFTAs, Virgin Atlantic upper class, as well as the Queen's very own grocers, Fortnum and Mason, and now my house. So it just looks and smells divine. It's the perfect pandemic present. If it's not your thing, you want to give it to someone on the morning, although I'd never do it, it's all mine. And Eve, if Archie likes it, you'll love it. Oh.
Perfect pandemic.
I know Archie, I can vouch for that. Do you know what? Eamon, I was surprised when you said you were going to do the Noble Isle for this, but I'll give it to you. I'm convinced. But I must say, and I've been looking at the comments coming in, and I am on board with a lot of the angels in the comments, because I'm going to be opening a bottle of bubbles on Christmas morning. So I'm surprised. That's what I've got, a bottle of Biora. I'm saving it, and that'll be what I'm popping open. We can't vote.
We might get a few spoiled votes here.
Who's got your vote?
Okay, surely. I mean, you said you would join me for breakfast. I mean, you don't sway last minute. You can't be able to.
Oh, well done, Ray.
Well, thank you, Eamon. It was
I swung for the fences there. That was either going to be hit or miss. It was miss.
I'll tell you what. So far, all I can say is that the virtues of the previous.
Ray got it in the bag.
Yeah, it's testament to the quality of the case so far. What's up next, Kate? Oh, we got Kate. Do we have a freeze?
Right, so round 4, it's a good one. Okay. Oh no, have I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry.
I'm good? Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, round 4 is a good one. The Queen's speech. So I want to know, are you planning, you 2 Irishmen, sitting down and watching Her Majesty give her speech this year? And I want to know what tipple you're going to be raising a glass with. So Eamon, over to you.
Okay, so again in Dublin, 3 p.m. on Christmas Day. It's not a popular slot, to be honest, to nip off and watch the Queen, but I'll be doing it. So the guests can sit around for their turkey and starve away by themselves. And I will pour exactly what the Queen pouring while she's watching, which is a lovely gin. If even better, if you've got Dubonnet, 2 cubes of ice and a lemon, you can drink like the Queen. I don't have time for that, so I'm going to splash some good quality tonic inside. So very simply, get a nice big glass around the ice cubes, the cubes melting, diluting, pour in a glug of gin, pop in a bottle of Fever Tree, a sliver of lemon peel, mix it all up, down. Enjoy. The nation's moral compass tell us for 10 minutes, put 2020 in the bin behind us and look forward to 2021 with great optimism and hope. And then it's back to screaming kids and family arguments, but you'll be one G&T deeper, so it'll all be a little bit less painful.
Fantastic.
Right.
Do you know what? I've not cracked open the short cross gin yet, and I think I might need to try a drop. And I'm just thinking, you know, the Queen's just down the road in Sandringham, so maybe we should send her some.
That's it.
I'm sure.
So, Ray, how about you? What are you going to be cracking open with the Queen's speech?
Okay, so what have I got in here? I am, without a doubt, going the wine of the nation. This is a Biora English sparkling wine. If we think back to the Queen's, one of her more memorable speech, 1992, it would be where she quoted Annus Horribilis, the terrible year when she lost Windsor Castle, it burnt down. But what she did was she rebuilt and redeveloped Windsor Castle to the greatness that it is today. And we have to applaud that and look forward with this sort of enthusiasm. And so I think after the year that we've had, it's a year, it's 20 minutes on the couch because it doesn't always start on time. And you have to sort of look at how are we going to take this nation forward. It's been there's been many challenges, there's been many divisions, and I think it's a year for bringing Great Britain and Northern Ireland back together. Charles Simpson, winemaker here, is from Northern Ireland. Ruth, his wife, is from Scotland. Lee, he's an Australian winemaker that works for them. Lee Wales has a halfback, I think, or is he fullback? Lee Halfpenny. So there's a bit of a Welsh diversion there. And it is grown in England. And if ever, and actually Lee is actually Australian, so it's the Commonwealth, it touches on all spectrums of the Queen's reach. And I think this is the drink to sort of say adieu to 2020 and say bonjour. Actually, we can't say bonjour because we're leaving the EU. Say hello, and here is Britain. Take us how we are and make Britain great again. So it has to be Biora. Quack.
Fantastic. Well, I'll cheers to that. So let's get our poll up. And I've just noticed a few angels in the comments saying that the Queen's actually at Windsor this year. So we'll be sending short cross gin to Windsor if we're allowed.
Sure, it's only down the road from me in Marlow.
Okay.
You've been schooled there, Kate.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be it.
And what follows this, Kate? I can barely keep up with your interrogation.
So next up, we're on to my favourite day of Christmas, Boxing Day. So I don't know about you, but I love on Boxing Day. We have a really chilled day. Oh, closest one yet. Ray. Oh my gosh, Eamon. The pressure's on now. So we've got. Well, no. Does that mean Ray's won? Because we're probably only going to have time for 5 categories. We'll see how we go. If we can whiz through this one.
Let's move on. Come on, guys.
Oh,
Recount.
There we go. So let's move on. So let's focus on Boxing Day. So I want to know what you're going to be rustling up with your Christmas leftovers. So you're going to be having a turkey curry, bubble and squeak. Maybe you're a classic turkey sandwich kind of guy. And most importantly, which wine from your deluxe Christmas collection are you going to be drinking? And Ray, let's go with you for this one first.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, well, I will go from the Christmas box. Where I put it? Oh, I'm going to go with Orfica Monastrell. This is a gulp of sunshine and richness. So let's say you may have possibly overindulged the night before. You wake up the next day and you're slowly going into things. And there's lots of cold cuts, you know, cold turkey, cold ham. And if you think of how they eat in Spain, it's lots of tapas, cold meats like this. And it's sort of an easy way of indulging. This also gives you the richness and the warmth and the ripeness of pictures or Miles Davis sketches of Spain, and you start thinking, as those emails come in from British Air or various airlines saying, you know, there's a sail on they bloody can't sell any flights, but they're promising you that, you know, one day in 2021 you're going to fly again. You just sit back, take your sweet time, drink a glass of this warmth, good richness, Monastrell full-bodied deep red wine, and think about where you're going to be in April, hopefully, September, and where you're going to be celebrating Christmas actually next year. So without a doubt, I look forward, I'd almost skip Christmas Day as I look forward to 2021 drinking this beauty.
Okay, yeah, gonna have to try and beat that.
I've got a bottle. You're tempting me.
You know you want.
Okay, Eamon, give it to us. You've got to come through on this one.
I got it. All right, people, let's go. It's Boxing Day. You survived Christmas Day. I've cooked for 12 people, so I'm free of responsibility. It's a long day, and what better drinking buddy than 2,250 milliliters of the most quaffable, drinkable, easy drinking Portuguese red, Galadora Reserva. Whenever people ask me what's like the easiest drinking, best value reds to buy, I'll always say Portugal. Why? Loads of sunshine, really hot down there, gives a great flavor. Right down there by the Atlantic Ocean, keeps the grapes cool and fresh. And the traditional industry generally hasn't cottoned on yet, so prices are nice and low. And this isn't any old Galadoro, it's the Reserva. So better grapes, more oak, and a much more rich and satisfying wine, perfect for Boxing Day. Also, you know, if you're feeling a little bit overindulged from the day before, you can feel pretty good about your choice. Bag and box, better for the environment, 90% less carbon generated than a bottle of wine. And there's actually 3 bottles squeezed in this little box, which you can enjoy for up to 6 weeks once you open it. Totally moot point because there'll be Fitzgeralds involved. But anyway, Boxing Day, Turkey Sambos, no brainer, Galadora.
Oh,
I think I might vote for that.
I mean, how could 3 times the wine? That'll see you through, won't it? So let's get a poll up and see who's got this one in the bag inbox.
Oh,
Hey.
I call objection to favoritism.
Influencing.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, what's going on with you two?
Kate, switch off the influencing just for one day, will you?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying really hard to be neutral, but
yes. And where will this leave us, Kate? So we're
currently the current scores on the doors are Ray 3, Eamon 1. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Now I'm just wondering.
It's like California in the US elections. He's just ran away with it, although he's red.
Going wild for the box.
That might edge the popular vote in my favor, Ray. That was a landslide.
We are.
I mean, we did talk about doing it on percentages, didn't we? But so guys, what do you reckon? Eamon, are you happy to accept defeat, or do you want to do another round? Or
I'd love a chance to draw level.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do a quick round. This could be the draw breaker. So our 6th and final category is what we're calling Crimbo Limbo Gluggers. And by that, I'm talking, you know, those like few days between Christmas and New Year, you don't really know what day it is or what to do. You're wearing your pajamas for days on end, a bit like the whole of 2020, really. So what are your Crimbo Limbo Gluggers? And who's good? Eamon, let's go with you first.
Okay, this may be actually where I lose it. So if you've had a good Christmas, you'll have overindulged at this stage. So it's time to take back control of your body. So what better medicine than 100% extra virgin olive oil from Frank Massard? This project started a few years back with Frank. He used to bring this amazing oil from his garden, from his trees in his garden on tasting tour. We all tasted it, loved it, ended up scaling it up. It's so green, spicy, fresh and fruity. And yeah, the secret's in the Arbequina olives, which are small green olives. They're gently cold pressed to produce intense oil full of polyphenols. And I'm no doctor, but it's thought that polyphenols can improve or treat digestion issues, weight management difficulties, diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, all of which you spent the last 5 days increasing your chances of getting at some stage. So I would say do what Frank does, a shot a day, drink like a Mediterranean god, and then go party.
Wow. No, if you're not sold on the olive oil after that, then you're never going to be. I'm going to go crack mine open now. And Ray, what's your Crumbo Limbo glugger of choice?
I would just like to thank Naked for being paid to do this, because this is way too much fun, and it's not. And we have spent all year planning this case and getting all the winemakers involved, and it's just just a gem to be able to share with everyone, but especially with you guys as well. So my absolute undoubtable leader has to be 12. Today, actually, it's our birthday today. I'm going to start with that. The clock starts now, but today is Naked Wine's birthday, 12th birth year. And so all love and applause to the founders that started this, and then again, those that give us the opportunity to have fun tasting and selling wines to you guys and sharing the stories. I'm going with Small Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. This is what you need in those sort of dull, gray, misty days that you don't really know what's happening. You need a bit of vivacity. You need a bit of life and a bit of excitement, and the tropical and exotic flavors from Bill and Claudia, who, by the way, were one of the first producers that we worked with and have stayed with us all along the way, remind us what a pleasure it is for me to work with Naked, and for you guys, your loyalty to have been with Naked all those years. So drinking it, I think if we were allowed to socialize, even if it's over the fence or you leave something at the gate, it's almost sort of Santa style, where you leave a carrot and a mince pie and a glass of sherry, we'll be leaving sort of glasses of wine at the end of our drive for the neighbor to come along and have a glass. Thank you very much. And if I was to do that, if there was any wine in this entire case, it would be Small Sauvignon Blanc, because of the quality and the year after year and the consistency and the love for this wine. It's like 97% rated or something. So that's it, without a doubt. This will get me through the 25th to the 31st, when we'll all be biting our nails and counting down to get into 2021, when it'll all be fine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ray. So let's get our 6th and final poll up and see who's it going to be.
I think I might be in trouble here.
Drum roll, please.
Whilst we're waiting for this final poll, Eamon and Ray, I have some news to break to you. Breaking news, I've hot off the press. On Facebook votes, Eamon, you're currently winning. So this could be the decider of all deciders. So who's it going to be?
Eamon's got the
mark. I'm just waiting for the scores on the doors.
Oh, no.
Oh, Ray. Oh, Ray. Okay. Right. You absolutely whooped him, Ray. So 4-2 to Ray on Zoom. I'm just waiting for the final score on Facebook. Oh, Ray's won. Ray, you've done it. Well done.
Well, I would like to thank my Right Honourable Eamon Fitzgerald for all the enthusiasm and depth you put in, but I'll take the crown of olive oil in 2020. Thank you, Kate. It was a pleasure, and thank you everybody for your engagement and buying and following and loving the case as much as we did, I hope.
Fantastic. Well done, Ray. And also thank you everyone in the comments for your birthday wishes. So nice to see. Thank you. So we've got a little bit of time left. So as promised, let's answer a few of your festive questions. So there's still time, pop them in there. If you have any tricky food or wine pairings you'd like Ray, our master of wine, to answer, or Eamon. I mean, come on, Eamon. Eamon too. And if you've got any festive questions at all, pop them in the Q&A section and we'll answer a few now. So, oh gosh, tons in here. Let's have a little look.
Eamon, where'd you get the hat?
Bottom of my wardrobe.
Right.
Gathering dust. I don't know why. I mean, I should be wearing this all year round, but.
Fantastic. So I've got Susan. Susan Booth wants to know what wine in the box is best with duck.
Duck and how it's cooked and the sauce. I tell you something just in general with all of the reds or whites is the accompanying sauces. So not to assume that it's duck à l'orange, but either way. So you have with duck sort of a pink to red meat, pink meat, let's say. But it has, you're probably going to have an accompanying sauce, and that's the kind of thing you're thinking about, because whilst it looks beautiful when you present it at first, 2 minutes later, it's a dog dinner of this, that, and everything that's added to it, and all the Christmas crackers and plastic that falls into your dish. So of this selection, I'm sort of thinking Las Parcelas, or maybe the ripeness of the Marcelo Mercado red. I think the Orfica might be a bit too rich, too deep. So I'd probably go with Marcelo Mercado Malbec. It's just for, what I'm taking into account is the meat, but also the accompanying sauces. Yeah.
Nice. And we've actually got a few more ducks, a guinea fowl, some goose. So would you
no
say the
penguins,
same?
I hope. No penguins.
No penguins. No penguins were harmed in the making of this Zoom. Okay, so should we decant any of the reds in the box? Are there any specific reds that would benefit from decanting? And that's from Ali Salisbury.
What do you think, Eamon?
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer here. I mean, recently there's been a lot of chatter about these nice wine glasses. So if you've got a big, nice, big wine glass, kind of fine glass, and I like to cool my reds for like 20 minutes, half an hour in the fridge beforehand. Then I open them up, and then it warms up throughout the evening in the glass. So it just kind of changes throughout the day and the evening. So yeah, wines do improve with air, depending on the wine, sometimes not too much. So in general, get yourself a nice set of glasses and enjoy would be my best advice.
Yep, and I'd echo that, Eamon, and I would just say I think the key thing with decanting, it's just about air and less about the sort of like the quality of the decanter that you're going into. You just need to put air through it and then put it back into the bottle or into a jug or however you like. You're just giving it a little bit of air because it's been trapped away for 1 year or 2 or 5 years, and you're just letting it out again. And once it's out and it feels that it's out in the open, it'll start to sing again. Younger wines, 1 or 2 hours. Older wines, they don't need so much to open up because they're a little bit sort of less stable. So yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Okay, so one thing we didn't touch on was dessert wines, and I'm seeing quite a few comments around what to enjoy with Christmas pudding, dessert wines, that kind of thing. So what would you recommend for a nice dessert wine for the big day?
So look, without a doubt, and we weren't expecting this. Where is it? I'm just holding it there. Yeah. So this is a Rivesaltes. So this is a fortified, but it's a sweet wine. So in a sense, it's almost, we would say, a replacement for port, but it's not as high alcohol as port, which would be 19 or 20% alcohol, and this is 16%. So you would have perhaps a Sauterne, which is on the naked site. This isn't an upsell, just letting you know. We have a Sauterne. And what you want to do is chill it down, really chill it cool. So you're 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. And that with blue cheese is amazing. Also with foie gras, but we might not endorse that. And then alternatively, Gerd Steppe has an ice wine and a Beerenauslese. So really, really sweet wines. And so they're also beautiful with blue cheese. And then this Rivesaltes, you can almost think of it as a cross between a sweet wine and a port, let's say. And there you go in with Christmas pudding because it's fig and prunes, and it's just sort of this warm, it's delicious. Look, if you weren't expecting this was sort of our gift to you. It's the wine that you never knew you needed to have in your life. And it's perfect for the pudding, but then also for the hard cheeses, the Comté, the mature cheddar. So this Rivesaltes is delicious. I would just say explore with it. Also chocolate, actually. It's one of the few wines that goes with chocolate, darker chocolate. There you go.
Fantastic. I am definitely saving that one for Christmas Day. Simon asks, which fever tree would be best with the gin in the case? And I'm interested to know that.
I would go for, I mean, again, you can experiment. There are no rules. I love just a straight standard Mediterranean. Is it Mediterranean or just the yellow label, which is the standard tonic?
Yeah.
And then just simple lemon peel in there, loads of ice, and then you can just enjoy all the flavors of the gin itself rather than having any more flavors thrown in from the tonic. So that's what I would go for myself. Over in Ireland, a lot of the gins tend to be quite herbaceous, and because we're not, I've got loads of fruit over here, so elderflower tonic can work really well as well with gins from over here. So again, just brings out a bit more of the flavor and the sunshine or the happiness in some of the gins made here. But for the short cross gin, I would definitely go just straight yellow label Fever Tree.
Amazing. Someone in the comments has just said ginger ale and orange, which sounds amazing. So
sounds good too.
It might be worth a try too. This isn't a question, but I'm going to say it because I think it's quite exciting. Michael wants us to find some top quality pork scratchings for next year's Christmas box. So I don't know whether you guys can talk a bit about sort of the fact that we are planning this year's the 2021 Christmas box now. So what's the benefit? How can angels inform and affect what's going to be in the next box? Could you tell us about that?
I think what we all have is this community, that everyone's involved in, and with winemakers sharing their stories, customers, angels feeding back on terms of whether they like this wine or not. And you don't always have to like every wine, but the feedback helps the winemaker sort of learn what people in the UK might like. And so in any case, with all of these wines, if you can just share on your comments, rate it, would you buy it again, yes or no, would you leave a comment on the wall? And all of that is vital, especially around this time, because Eamon, we kick off around now, planning next Christmas, just as many things go like that. So the most important thing, the most valuable thing for you, angels, to design your own case next year is to tell us what you do and don't like about things this year on each product. That would be great.
Yeah, I can see some fantastic comments coming through, so we'll make sure we save the chat, and we'll keep a track of those for when we're writing our shopping list for next year.
Great.
Lee Robinson asks if we've got plans for more box wines.
I'll take that.
Given the landslide of the box, then yeah.
Clearly, Eamon sold the virtues of the environmental and just the whole sort of convenient element of the bag and box. And there are plans for more box wines because they do. I mean, it's almost inevitable that we have the quality winemakers, and we just need to bring it forward into another domain. So yeah, watch this space. I would say maybe March next year, we will have a greater breadth of box wines. And it's great that people have appreciated this year's box wine and previous. And so, yeah, I think probably April, May next year, you're going to see a nice range of wines that you all know and love already.
Fantastic. One thing we haven't talked about in the box. So Linda has asked, what's best to enjoy the cider with? So we've got a nice bottle of cider in the box. What would you recommend to enjoy with the cider?
I'll have a shot at that, Eamon. Do you know, there's sometimes there's food and wine matching, and I don't wish to do the cider any disservice because it is absolutely fantastic. And we did a really wide tasting because it was our first foray into cider, and we explored all styles, and we just found that this one had the best balance and quality and consistency and everything. And I was thinking earlier about which I would choose for Boxing Day or the in-between days. And I was really close in thinking of I'd select the cider because I think let me just give a disclaimer. I'm not sure I can match it to a food. So I'll put it like that. And to say have it with snacks and nuts and stuff I think might just do it as a service to relate it to a bar. But what it is an anytime and with friends drink, because the quality is so good. It's reliable at any time. So it's one just to pull from the fridge, standing up door, and then just enjoy it at any time. So rather than a food, wine, or a cider matching, cider and food matching, I would just sort of say it's one to sort of dip into when you just need a refreshing drink for now.
Nice. Now this has got my tummy rumbling. Sue asks, what would you drink with homemade chicken liver pate? Delicious.
You love chicken liver pate, don't you?
Oh, big time. Oh yeah. What would we drink at homemade chicken liver pate?
You've got the fattiness.
Yeah, I'm thinking French. there anything French in there, Ray? You got your box behind you.
My Prestige Sauvignon Blanc, something that would sort of cut through the fat. The acidity cuts through the fat, the Sauvignon Blanc, and then lifts, but it's not overpowering because actually, you know, you're going to pay for chicken liver pate. You want to feel it and taste it. Yeah. So probably the Prestige Sauvignon.
Ooh,
Yeah. Quite often go on, Kate.
I wouldn't have gone for a white with chicken liver pate, so I've learned something tonight.
Yeah, quite often the best food and wine matchings are like traditionally what's combined in like the region where that food is from. So like goat's cheese, for example, amazing with any sort of Loire white wine. Lamb is great with Rioja. So just think of, you know, where that food is from originally, and you know, what would the locals drink with it, and what have they been doing for centuries, and it's hard to go wrong if you take that approach.
Good advice. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I've just seen a couple of questions about haggis. So Fiona and Martin are both asking which wine goes well with haggis.
Eamon, you love haggis, don't you? I say, look.
I'll pass on to our sommelier friend on the call.
Yeah. So what I think what you have is, I'm going to pull out my admittedly limited knowledge of haggis, but I've tasted it and I've enjoyed it. But what you have is a subtle but defined richness. Almost, you have a sort of a umami character. So there's a sort of the mouthfeel is one thing, and then the flavor profile is another. So the mouthfeel is like, is it heavyweight and is it oily, or which? And then the other is this sort of like, what flavors am I tasting? And I think it would be somewhere, personally, I would put it somewhere between Orfica Monastrell, which has this sort of richness to complement the complexity of the haggis, and then Christian Patat, Appassimento. It has an element of sort of ripeness, sweet prune sweetness to it that just carries the length, which is the umami character that you just want to carry on and sort of like complement it and sort of carry the flavor. So either of those two reds, I think, and not too cool. You know, Eamon, you were saying you're right. You know, you cool your reds occasionally, but with the haggis in this instance, I wouldn't have them too cool. I'd have them at sort of room temperature, 16 to 18 kind of thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I think we've got time for one more question, and I think we've got a lot of meat eaters in the Q&A, but I've spotted a couple of veggies. So what, and I don't know if this is a challenging one, but what would you pair with a nut roast or a nice
I was talking nut roast earlier. I mean, absolutely, the Malbec has to go with nut roast. Absolutely. No, so not, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to repeat myself, but nut roast is the creation of nut roast is to give the similar mouthfeel again, but it's that you want to sort of give this a bit of texture, what meat eaters have in turkey or ham, and what you also want to have, you can do variants on it. You have sort of a butternut squash toppings with it, but generally it's sort of a mushroomy, nutty character, and you just want something that gives a warmth. And I failed earlier, although I think I won the vote, to mention when I was talking about Malbec. So the answer is Marcelo Ricardo Reserve Malbec. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I think is that all of the questions for tonight, guys? I know that it's been a fantastic evening. Thank you ever so much for having me. I hope everyone's enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned a bit about sort of how best to enjoy the wines in your Christmas case, and I certainly have. I'm gonna crack open a bottle of Monastrell now, I think. We'll see.
Boom. So easy. It was great. Thank you, Kate, for taking us through the wines this evening. It was great, and enjoy, everybody, and happy Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas,
thanks, guys.
And congratulations, Ray. Well done.
Yeah. Well done, Ray.
Next year, Eamon. Cool.
See you
Merry
guys.
Christmas, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.